What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kicks and Stuff, the podcast. Today's going to be another solo episode. So, I'm Fiza if you're new. If you're not, well, I'm also Fiza. So, also, I always forget to say this every single podcast episode, but I do have a playlist made for my podcast episodes. So, if you are new, or you just found me for a specific episode, a specific topic, and then you just want to, you liked the way that I just did my podcast, I do have a playlist that you guys can click. I'll leave it in the description down below, so make sure to check it out. Also, if you guys just want to find it, you guys could go on my playlists that I have made on my channel. So, yeah. Alright. Now, let's get into the actual podcast episode. So, today, my day, it's Wednesday. I always record podcast episodes on Wednesday because they go up on Wednesday. Today, on Wednesday, I have half days now, which is amazing. But it was I kind of liked this Wednesday even more just because we didn't have to do much. So, in reading/writing, aka like English or ELA, I guess, in some places people call them that. We were reading 12 Angry Men, the play, and we finished it yesterday. So my teacher was like, well, we're gonna watch the movie from 1957. And that's exactly what we did. We just watched the movie and we had a short little response to write on it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I had a pretty chill school day today. And then I took like a 2-hour nap because I only get like 6 hours of sleep. It's so annoying. I usually sleep around like 12:31ish, sometimes even 2. But when I put my phone down at like 1:30, right? I think I put my phone down at 1:30ish. I can't go to sleep until like 2:30ish. So I basically end up getting 5.5 hours of sleep. And if anyone knows me personally, people know I am not me without my sleep. I'm not a morning person. And I need my sleep. I need my sleep to be myself. And so whenever I get 6 to 7 hours of sleep, I have energy, but I'm not myself. And I have energy for like 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm done. I'm burnout. I am just done for the day. I need to have a nap or go back to sleep and recover from that sleep so I can continue my day and be me. So I just took a 2-hour nap. So yeah, I got like 2 hours of sleep in. So I basically had like 8 hours of sleep, which is okay. I usually need like 10. Yeah, I love to sleep. Sleeping, I don't know. It's like on my brother, you guys know him. He gets like 3 to 4 hours of sleep and he's like completely fine. And I'm like, how? I value my sleep a lot too. So I've actually not been valuing it as much like these past couple of weeks. And that's just because I want more entertainment time, because I am starting a lot more to be I'm starting to work on YouTube a lot more than I previously did. I would edit on the weekends before like a video or two, and then like Tuesday night I would edit the podcast episode and have it go up at 12 p.m. on Wednesday, and that's pretty much it. And I would like film maybe once or twice during the week, and that's it. But I've been for the past 2 weeks actually, I've been filming every single day, and I've been trying to edit. Well, I haven't been filming every single day, but I've been trying to film every single day, and then I've been editing every single day. So if I filmed and edit the video one day, let's say today's Wednesday, so if I filmed and edit the podcast and upload it to YouTube, I am done. right? I have one video up already for, this week. And then the next day, I'm going to film another video and then edit that video, right? Now it's a full video. I have to make sure, it's a video. So you guys are seeing my face. I have to make sure, the lighting's perfect, everything. With a podcast, I just record on voice memos and then import that into iMovie with the logo that I created for the podcast. And it's pretty simple, I just do that and then I kind of just edit some parts of it. I don't really mess with the mic anymore because I am using a lav mic. So I'm not using my earbuds that are horrible. They don't have a really good mic. So I'm using a full mic system, even though it's not a full big podcast mic. Lavalier mics are actually really good. They're what they those tiny little mics that you see. It's those tiny little clip-on mics that are used for a ton of things, for movie production. A ton of YouTubers use them. They're used for a ton of interviews. They're used for a ton of things. So, this is a pretty good lav mic. So I really don't edit any of the videos. Not what am I saying? I don't really edit any of the actual voice of it. So yeah, but I've been basically working a lot and I've been trying to keep up by doing this every single day. And I wasn't used to this and it caused me to burn out. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today's topic for this episode is burnout. I'll actually look up the Google meaning of burnout. So you guys could just see, or I'll tell you guys mine first and then I'll tell you what Google says. Burnout to me is when you're constantly working so hard and you're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted, you're just not, you're exhausted in so many different ways that it's hard for you to keep up. Your physical health goes down, your mental health goes down, you're down. When I say your physical health is low, your mental health is low, your emotional health is low. It's just it's a lot, right? According to Google, the term burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. Now, I didn't have severe burnout. I was just tired of editing. I was tired. I was exhausted of filming. I was exhausted of just constantly listening to my voice. I was exhausted of constantly setting up the camera, making sure no one walks into the basement while I'm filming, making sure no one, walks in while I'm filming the podcast episode, doesn't ruin my audio and I have a bunch of background noise now. And it was a lot. I had to schedule times literally because my basement is pretty it's used for a ton of things. And so I would stay up late, till 11:30, 12-ish just to film. And I would be, I would be like, okay, I need to film. I haven't filmed at all today. I haven't even edited today. I need to do something productive for the YouTube channel. And I've just been, I legit started filming at 11:45 and I probably finished around 1 because yes, videos do take time to film. They take a ton of time to edit. They take a ton of time to upload. And it's an entire process, especially when you're doing this process late at night and then you have school super early in the morning. It gets to you. You're already super tired and then you're tiring yourself out even more by waking up early because you have to because of school. And it affects your emotional health. It affects your mental health. And that's why, you know, it's okay to have burnouts, but you should realize, you know, I didn't realize that I was being, you know, so super cranky, or I was being super tired all the time because of this. That's the only reason I stopped filming and editing every single day. I had videos lined up for the next 3 weeks, but I was like, no, I need to grind more, I need to work harder, I need to hustle, I need to get all these videos up and ready. So I schedule them, they come out, and I just keep over and over and over and over and over and over. And it wasn't healthy. It was not healthy at all. It was actually very much, it was like I was being forced to do this. I wasn't having fun filming. I wasn't having fun editing. I wasn't having fun doing all this stuff. I would, because I shoot in 4K. So basically, when I first got my camera, I was shooting at 1080 p, 1080 30 or 1080 60. I think it was 1080 60. 1080 60, right? Full HD. But then I realized I knew about, you know, 4K and stuff like that, and I knew my camera could film 4K, but I didn't realize 4K was gonna cost me so much memory, so much time, and a lot of stuff. So basically, I switched to 4K. Instead of 30 minutes recording time, I had 15 minutes recording time. Instead of uploading time to YouTube, actually uploading time just from the memory card itself to what's it called, my MacBook, was for each little clip that was probably 8 to 10 minutes long. They were probably, I was waiting a good 5 to 6 minutes because it was such a large file, and it was just a lot of footage as well. And so I am using, obviously my computer is, I mean, it's pretty fast. It's not an M1 MacBook, but it's a pretty fast, pretty powerful beast. And my SD card reader is not the fastest. It is because it does have that dongle. So all of the speed is basically divided into each different port. If you guys have not checked out, oh, this comes out after. Okay, I wanted to say a video, but I just realized this is going to be scheduled before, so can't say that. But basically, it's if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you guys know dongles and USB-C hubs are like, you can't live without them. So those hubs, they basically, all the power and all the speed of reading and writing stuff, it's divided. It's divided into each different port, whether if it's HDMI, USB-A, what else ports are usually on there? Oh, SD cards, micro SD card ports, whichever one they are. It's divided. So the reading and writing speeds are divided, which makes it slow already. So I mean, it's actually a pretty fast SD card reader, but it does make editing a bit slower, which is fine. I don't really mind it. It's not that big of a deal. And then when I export iMovie to a file, because it's 4K, and usually my videos are like anywhere from 10 to like 25 minutes long. It takes maybe 15-20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes if it's a larger video to export, right? That's completely fine. But when I upload it into YouTube, it literally takes an hour and like 30 minutes just to upload it to YouTube. And because of that, I can't close the tab, I can't close my computer, I can't shut down my MacBook, because I like to do that because, you know, obviously my MacBook's been working hard. It needs sleep, and that's what it needs. It needs to be shut down, it needs to be slept, and so it needs to be rested. And so I basically literally, I finished editing at like, I want to say 11:30, 11ish, and I stayed up till 1 to 2ish, trying to, like, waiting for YouTube to completely upload the video. Then it takes time to process standard definition, which is SD, high definition, which is HD, and then 4K. And that takes more than 24 hours sometimes. And so it's a lot of waiting time, and it's a lot of, you can't do anything. I can't put my MacBook away. I can't, do this. And it really caused me just to, I was exhausted. I was just like, ugh, why am I doing this? Why? And so I stopped. I didn't do anything on the weekends. And I just, let the videos go up. And it really helped. So if you're like, you realize you're working hard, whether if it's for school, whether if it's for YouTube, if you're a content creator, not YouTube, just for any social media platform that you post on and you're a content creator, whether if you work or whatever you do, and you feel as if, maybe what I'm doing is not, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. Or maybe I'm working too hard. Or why am I always exhausted all the time? I'm getting my sleep. Why am I still exhausted? It's probably because you're burned out. So I'm going to take a quick break and get a water drink. I'm going to take a drink? What? A water drink? That's not English. I'm gonna take a quick drink of water, and we'll be right back. And we're back. All right. So, burnout. Honestly, there's actual stages of burnout. I looked them up. Okay. So the 5 stages of burnout is, okay, let's actually open this up. Okay. So obviously the biggest thing that causes burnout is stress. So if you're stressed, just take like a couple days, maybe even a week off. Just relax. Understand that you're working hard. Understand that you're doing everything you could to fix this problem that you have at work, whether like that's your work, or you're just working extremely hard to create your content, working really hard to get up your grades and do everything. Just take a break and make sure you're fed. Make sure your emotional, your mental health is good. Your mental health, honestly, if your mental health is bad and your emotional health is, I don't know how, but somehow good, and then you're working even harder, that's really bad, okay? So you have to understand that you're not going to be satisfied with what you create or what you do when you're like this, when you're in burnout phase, when you're in a way where you're basically kind of just doing everything you could to get something done. Right? Now, this is exactly what makes people, honestly, how should I say this? This is what makes people kind of like enraged, I guess, in a way. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and read the 5 stages of burnout. They call number 1 the honeymoon phase. When we undertake a new task, we often start by experiencing high job satisfaction, commitment, energy, and creativity. This is especially true of a new job role or the beginnings of a business venture. In this first phase of burnout, you may begin to experience predicted stresses of the initiative you're undertaking. So it's important to start implementing positive coping strategies, such as taking practical steps to support your well-being alongside your professional ventures. The theory is that if we create good coping strategies at this stage, we can continue in honeymoon phase indefinitely. So, like they said, common symptoms would be commitment to the job at hand, compulsion to prove oneself, free-flowing creativity, high productivity levels, job satisfaction, really accepting responsibility, sustained energy levels, and unbridled optimism. So I feel as if this was like kind of me. I basically was just, I was like, okay, we got this. We're gonna be, working on YouTube every single day. We're gonna, do this. I was editing for like 6+ hours, including actually editing the video, then taking, thumbnails, perfect thumbnails. I have to take so many thumbnails because sometimes, I don't like the shot, or sometimes the shot gets kind of cut off, or sometimes my hand shakes and the shot is ruined, and I have to just keep taking pictures, and it's just ta-ching, 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 over and over and over again. And then half my SD card is just filled with the same picture over and over and over and over and over again. But when you look at them closely, there's a difference, right? There's a slight difference where you see the full picture, or sometimes it's a bit shaky and it's a bit tilted or something. So you're seeing that. But what it really is I would say I was just constantly trying to get everything done in like 24 hours. I wanted to have a whole month of videos, just lined up, ready to go and just do this in one entire day. So 24 hours and just dedicating to do, make sure that I have enough videos for you guys. And it really caused it. I wasn't stressing really. I was just, as I kept doing this, I was not being as satisfied with my work that I was creating. I was like, okay, this is the same thing as I created last week, but I was so satisfied with what I created last week. Why is this not satisfying me? And my energy levels were just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I was just fatigued, and I was, I did not have more sleep. I was literally sleeping maybe 4 or 5 hours. So, yeah. Alright, stage number 2 is onset of stress. The second stage of burnout begins with an awareness of some days being more difficult than others. You may find your optimism waning, as well as notice common stress symptoms affecting you physically, mentally, or emotionally. Common symptoms include anxiety, avoidance of decision making, change in appetite or diet, fatigue, forgetfulness, general neglect of personal needs, grinding your teeth at night, headaches, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, inability to focus, irritability, job satisfaction, lack of sleep or reduced sleep quality, lack of social interaction, lower productivity, and unusual heart rhythms. So again, I wasn't satisfied with the content I was creating. I was fatigued. I was, reduced sleep quality, stuff like that. And so you really have to try to. The way that I honestly just figured this out was like, okay, I'm doing this every single day. Why? And then I just realized I think I'm starting to burn out. So yeah, but also I was on a screen for 7 hours a day just for school, and then I go to my phone, do, entertainment time, me time, whatever it is. I'm usually on a screen every single day for like literally 12 hours I'm on a screen, right? But the difference is when I'm on a bigger screen like my MacBook, I need to be making sure, especially when I'm editing, I have to have my brightness all the way up. Now, I already don't have perfect vision, and also extremely bright things like my brightness all the way up really hurts my eyes. That's why you always see my brightness super low. My phone brightness is super low. My MacBook brightness is super low. If I'm using my mom's phone, I'll bring the brightness all the way down. I'll bring my dad's, whatever it is. My brightness is usually very low, so my eyes are not used to seeing this much light coming from a screen in like 4 or 5 hours a day. Especially when I was editing thumbnails, what I would do is I would try to get the color saturation and the exposure and everything to kind of meet both ways. And this way, it looks edited. I want my thumbnails to look edited. I don't want them to look like I just took a picture and then, just threw some font on it and did that. I want it to look edited. And so that's the reason I basically kind of started, I would just editing the actual thumbnail without, adding the actual picture itself. I use Photoscape X. I spend for each thumbnail at least an hour trying to, get the best looking thumbnail. And it was hurting my eyes. I would have headaches. And then I realized the screen time is too much. So I was still editing every single day. I just cut down on screen time, and I was like, okay, I'm not having fun with this. What is it? And that's when I realized I was starting to burn out. Number 3, chronic stress. This is stage number 3. The third stage of burnout is chronic stress. This is marked change in your stress levels, going from motivation to experiencing stress on an incredibly frequent basis. You may also experience more intense symptoms than those of stage 2. So common symptoms include anger or aggressive behavior, apathy. I don't know what that means. I'll look that up later. Chronic exhaustion, clinical attitude, decrease, denial of problems at work or at home, feeling threatened or panic, feeling pressure out of control, increased alcohol or drug consumption, increased caffeine consumption, lack of hobbies, missed work deadlines and or targets, persistent tiredness in the mornings, physical illness, procrastination at work and at home, repeated lateness for work, resentfulness, social withdrawal from family and or friends and or family. And so, I thank God it wasn't like, if you're at this stage, you probably just want to kind of shut down and restart. And the best way to do that is just sleep. Just sleep and just forget about everything that's happening. Just forget about the assignment that you have due. Just sleep. And if you're like in high school or in middle school, I don't know about college because I'm literally graduating middle school. If you're experiencing burnout, or if you're experiencing that you can't, especially with the pandemic, it's gotten even worse. My school actually does an advice column, and I'm in charge of replying to them. And I actually recently got a submission from someone. Obviously, it's all anonymous, but I basically just said, I can't keep up with the work that my teachers assigned me, and the pandemic is even I don't have motivation to finish my work because of the pandemic. It's just not working together. And I mean, we all understand this. We've all been impacted by the pandemic, like super, in so many crazy ways. Some people have been impacted, like their entire lives have changed, like forever. Some people were impacted. Obviously, if you say you weren't impacted by the pandemic, you're straight up lying, because every single person in this entire on Earth has been impacted by this um, this pandemic. So the pandemic really, honestly, the pandemic has caused a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety levels have gone up and everything. So you have to kind of just, I mean, obviously, if you're super stressed at all times, you're not going to realize that you're kind of burned out. But it's best to kind of start to realize, okay, why am I acting like this, or why is this action not making me feel the way that I used to a week ago, or a month ago, or a couple days ago even. You just got to realize that. You got to take, just once you realize that, it hits you instantly, and that's when okay, I need to maybe look this up, or I just need to maybe, talk to someone or something. So, yeah. All right, number 5 is burnout. Number 4 is burnout, and number 5 is basically the same thing. Literally, that's basically the same thing. So I'm just not going to read number 5. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So entering stage 4, it is burnout itself, where symptoms become critical. Continuing as normal is often not possible in this state, as it becomes increasingly difficult to cope. We have our own unique limits of tolerance, and it's the key that you seek intervention at this stage. So yeah, as I was saying, so like I'll just name some of them. It's like self-doubt, social isolation, behavioral changes. It's very, very like, that's like the highest, I'd say, that would go before depression. So just make sure that you guys are kind of you guys know what's happening in his and you guys can understand that you guys are burnt out. Because if you're not burned out and you're still completely working, it's not going to be the easiest, just because you don't know why you're acting like this or why you're doing that. So yeah, this was a pretty short episode, but the reason is because I mean, obviously so yeah, obviously these are like problems and stuff that we see all the time in society, and we don't really talk about it on social media. Like, for some reason, mental health was apparently a taboo to talk about on social media a couple of weeks ago, which was so stupid, because mental health is a very important part of everybody's just health in general. And if someone's mental health is down, it shouldn't be you shouldn't have to kind of hide it from if you need help with it, you can reach out and ask help without being questioned or being judged, because it's wrong. And society just thinks whatever they want. So yeah, I don't usually talk about like big issues like burnout and depression and stuff like that. But I don't know. I probably wasn't burned out. I was just I think I considered it burnout because I've never felt this way. Like I was uploading videos every single day. Then all of a sudden, not upload, but I was like working on a video every single day, and then all of a sudden, I was creating that same type of content, and I just wasn't enjoying the content, or wasn't enjoying editing a video, or wasn't enjoying editing a thumbnail or something, and it really just honestly, oops, sorry, I bumped into my mic there, but it really just kind of made me feel that I wanted to talk about this on a podcast episode. Also, there are podcast guests coming soon. Stay tuned. I have a couple people coming on the podcast that aren't people that I live with, aka my sister and my brother. I found a couple people that I know, obviously, that are willing to do a podcast with me. So, but I'm just stay tuned. They're gonna be good episodes. And yeah. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening to thank you all so much for listening to today. Thank you all so much for listening to today's podcast episode, or to this week's podcast episode, I should say. Make sure to DM me, or just comment down below some ideas that you guys want to hear, or topics that you guys want to hear on this podcast, because obviously I'm going to talk about what you guys want me to talk about, obviously. So if you guys want me to talk about a specific topic, DM me, link in the description below, or at ITZ_FAISA. Because honestly, I love hearing what you guys want to talk about, what you guys want me to talk about on this podcast. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to hit that like button. Seriously, hitting that like button helps my channel a ton. It's the way the YouTube algorithm runs now, so the like button is very important. So I'd really appreciate it if you would hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button, and when you do hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you guys get notified when I upload, whether it's sneaker content, vlogs, podcast episodes, or sit-down videos. When you do hit that subscribe button, it lets me know that you guys like the content that I create, and it's kind of a motivational boost for me, and I'm like, oh, people like the content I create, I want to create more. So the more that you guys hit the like button and the subscribe button, the more I will create content for you guys. So follow me on Instagram if you want. Again, link in the description below, or at ITZ_FAISA 1010, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.